G'day gang, it's Taki here. Hope you're doing really well. I'm in New Zealand right now where it is 9:21 a.m. and I am at the Casa del Nana. That's right, I'm at my in-laws place with some beautiful drapes. Uh, just wanted to take a quick moment and share a tool that we use in Black Belt all the time. It's called the 3 Timeframes. It's super easy. It's just a 1 minute piece of conversation to put at the end of your sales conversation if you want to get clients to commit for a long period of time, say 12 months or more. It's really simple. When you get to the end of a strategy session, hopefully you've spent 45 minutes or so talking, finding out about them and asking a bunch of questions and not talking about your stuff at all. But there comes a time when you do need to talk about your stuff. And so when you do that, you'll be using, if you're smart, you'll use the 6 magic pills, which is how you talk about your offer piece by piece by piece, so that people want to find out more about your stuff. And so the 6 magic pills is really a simple way to answer 3 questions that every prospect has. And I'll get to this 3 timeframes piece in just a moment. So the 6 magic pills answers why should I work with you? It answers, if we do work together, what would we work on? And then how does it work? Okay, so why, what now? Super important. Every client needs to know the answers to to those questions before they can say yes and commit, right? And so here's what we're going to do. As we deliver the 6 magic pills, the first thing we're going to talk about is what are their core problems, the 3 big problems and their impact. And we're going to check in, and then we're going to say, so here's what you should do, and we're going to give them the prescriptions. Here's what you need instead. Don't have time to talk about these today, but if you want to find out more, happy to share a little bit. So the why, we answer why you should work with me by talking about their 3 big problems and the 3 prescriptions that they need instead. You with me? So here's the thing. Problems and prescriptions answers why should I work with you to solve these problems and to implement these prescriptions. Perfect. And then we get to the what piece, like what would it look like if we work together? And so here we're going to talk about the outcome of your program. And one of the mistakes that most coaches make is their program has logistics, but it's got no outcome. In other words, we talk about, we're going to meet together once a week and talk through this stuff, or you're going to come to our events and jump on our webinars. We're really deep on logistics and we're light on outcome. Nobody wants your logistics. It's the least sexy part of what you do. And so instead of majoring in logistics, we've got to major in outcome. What's the result that your program is designed to give? And so, these two, if you're talking one-on-one, you're going to tailor that for the individual you're speaking with. And if you're on a webinar or talking from stage, then obviously you'll have your kind of generic go-to problem and prescriptions ready, but you need an outcome. So the program's designed to blank. For Black Belt, I'd say that the program's designed to take a 6-figure coach and help them get to $1 million a year. So we're going to do it in a way that dramatically scales up your income, but compresses down your time. So there is no loss in free time. And in fact, you should get an extra 1 or 2 free days a week to spend as you like. That's the outcome, right? Then what we need is model, which is your drawing, your circle, your triangle, your square, which explains what are the key areas we work on together. Don't have time for that today, but those 2 pieces answer the what would we work on together. We're going to get this outcome by going through these 3 or 4 key areas. With me? Model. What haven't we talked about yet? Well, logistics, right? And logistics is the least sexy part of what you do. Most of us major in it and we want to minor in it. But you need to have a little piece which says, here's how it works. And I suggest that you use the plan, tools, and help framework to explain your stuff, to put things into those 3 categories. Otherwise, we end up just making this big fat laundry list of all the stuff. Okay. Now, logistics is it's frankly not that interesting, but it's important because it's a logic check. People buy, people buy on emotion and then back it up with logic. And if you look, these top 3 are all emotional. Problems, prescriptions, outcome, that's all big picture stuff. The bottom 3 are logical. And so people buy the top and they justify, the bottom logically. And so we've got model, logistics. The only two things we haven't talked about, the last pill is price, which is how does it work? It's the question that everyone asks. Before I tell price, I say there's only two things we haven't talked about so far, timing and price. And they haven't even thought about timing, but this is really important. It's critical that you have people really clear upfront about what your expectations are of them in terms of, so this is how we talk about your stuff in a way that gets people engaged up top and backs up logically down the bottom. And we do these piece by piece by piece by piece with a little check-in after each one. So you don't just go at the end of problems, you'll check in. At the end of prescriptions, you'll check in. At the end of outcome, you'll check in, etc. So now what we're going to do is we're going to talk about the 3 time frames. And the 3 time frames fits just in here. Again, the only 2 things we haven't talked about yet is timing and price. Let's talk about timing first. So when somebody comes to work with us in Black Belt, there are coaches already doing 10 or 20 or 30 or 40, $50,000 a month, and our job is to get them to $1 million a year first and then help them scale. The program starts off, it's designed to be a 3-year curriculum, 3-year journey, but we start off with first year, right? Asking someone you've just met to start with 3 years is a big ask. We start with a year. And so I let people know that I want you to think about three time frames. It's going to help make it really easy for us to work together. I want you to think about first year, first quarter, and first month. Right? First year, first quarter, and first month as our 3 time frames. So let me explain. We've just mapped out together. This is out of role play right now. We've just mapped out together our 12-month goals. If we've got some 12-month goals, it makes sense that we're going to be working together for 12 months or more. Wouldn't you agree? Yep, great. So if we do decide to do this together, it's really important to me that you're committed for the 12-month journey. At the end of the first year, if you're still loving it, we'll roll into year 2, and year 3, and year 4, as long as you're happy. But if we're going to do this, let's start off with a 12-month commitment mindset. You cool with that? And so yeah, that's cool. No worries. Okay, so that's first year is about commitment. Then let's talk about first quarter. One of the pieces in our logistics that we would have just talked about is called the game plan. And in the game plan, we map out, if this is the 12-month goals, what do we need to do in the first 30, 60, 90 days so that they can hit the ground running, get quick wins, and frankly, and I let them know I'm really transparent about this, it's designed to get you wins, traction, make sure you're in the right direction, and get you return on investment fast, so that every cent you'll spend on Black Belt for the rest of the year is paid for in the first 90 days. And that's great for you because of XYZ. But it's great for me because, I want this thing to turn into a profitable addiction. You'll love it. You'll make progress and it pays for itself. So now you'd be an idiot to ever leave. Like selfishly, that's why I do it. So if the first year is about commitment, the first quarter is about ROI. And so I just say, the game plan we set up front is designed to get you your, everything you'll spend in Black Belt for the year, to get all that back in the first 30 or 60 or 90 days. The record is 2 days, joined on Tuesday, ran first webinar on Thursday, money back, multiple times over, 330 grand. That's awesome. It's possible, but it's not probable. Not everyone does it in that time frame. And, and for some people, it might take a little bit longer. Maybe it'll take you 4 months. Well, that's okay. But I want you to come into this knowing that, if one of the questions you've got is, and again, I'm objection handling, this one's for me and these two are for them. I'm going to make a commitment. How quickly do I get my money back is the first question, right? I'm going to invest. When do I get, and before you can get return on investment, you need return of investment. So I just let people know that's first 30 or 60 or 90 days. Is that cool? Yep. Great. Which brings us to first month. So first month, first quarter, first year. Yeah. Brings us to first month. So if first year is about commitment, first quarter is about return on investment, what's the first? So first year is about commitment, first quarter is about ROI. What's the first month about? Well, the first month is about risk. And here's the risk. Anytime you ask someone to make a commitment, there's a risk on their behalf. Maybe it works out great, or maybe they've they get ripped off like they've been ripped off many times before they start to work with you. And so you just want to acknowledge that up front and say, hey, you know what? We've known each other for 45 minutes now, and you seem like a really good dude, and hopefully to you, I seem like a really good dude. But we're on the outside. We haven't done this yet. We haven't ever worked together. And so everything we've said looks really good, but we've never worked together. And so here's what I want you to know. At the end of the first month, you're going to know for sure if I'm the right guy for you or not. And likewise, I'm going to know for sure if you're the right client for me or not. Wouldn't you agree? We'll know in a month. Yep. So if that's the case, then I want to take the risk out for both of us. Anytime in the first 30 days, first month, that this isn't going the way you want it to go, if you don't feel like you're making great progress, if you're not loving it, frankly, if you think that everything I said here today was complete bullcrap and I lied, I've got my son behind me, so I'm not gonna swear. If you think I'm full of crap and the program is bogus, or you just don't like my beard or the way I talk, you have every right to say, this isn't for me. Cancel, refund, walk away as friends, no hard feelings. Likewise, I'll get a really good read on you in the first month. And if you're not the right client for us, then I'm going to cancel you, refund you, and we'll walk away as friends that way. Just as an aside, anytime you run a program which has workshops or live events involved, it only takes one idiot in your room to kill your vibe. And so it's better to cut them out early, right? Does that make sense? Yeah. So there's no risk for either of us to try. At the end of the first month, anytime in the first month, it's not for either of us. Let's just cancel, refund, walk away as friends. After the first month, though, we're in for the 12 months and beyond. Are you cool with that? Great. And that's the 3 time frames. And what that does is it gets the commitment you want, the confidence that they need, and reduces the risk for both of you guys. So what I want to do right now is just check in. By the way, this is a really great tool for getting prospects over the line to commit. The problem that, the thing that you need to make this work is you need prospects to talk to. And so if you want help with that, we've got a webinar we're running called the $1 Million Plan, which is all about how to generate the leads you need to get them to this point. If you'd like to know the info about that, just type webinar below and I'll get you the details. Love to help. All right, guys, it has been super fun hanging out today. Take good care. I'm off to interview Danny, who's absolutely crushing it right now. His goal from a standing start at 0 in his coaching business, his goal is to hit $2 million a year in his first 12 months with us. So we're going to have a good time. Cool. All right, team, take good care. It's been really fun. I've got to find the finish live button.